All right, Earthlings, welcome back to another game stream of consciousness with your boys, the Thundering Dice Brothers. And today we're going to be talking about something we call the three S's, which is something we made up 4 seconds ago, just because they're relevant to pop culture right now. And we are shameless slaves to the trends. So we're just going to talk about South Park, Superman, and Scooby-Doo. Probably, but, you know, you guys know the drill. It's a game stream of consciousness. It goes where it wants to go, not where we dictate. So, without further adu, we did watch Season 27, Episode 1, of course, as did seemingly the rest of the world. And I really, really enjoyed it. Let's just say that. I had fun. How about you?
Yeah, it was a lighthearted episode, and I mean, like take away any political jabs you guys want to, and just, you know, look at the episode as a, you know, humorous 22 minutes that we can all sit around the campfire and enjoy. I think it was extremely successful, especially considering Comedy Central were fucking pussies, not allowing them to show Trump's dick, and Paramount was forced to allow that to happen, which is just funny to me. But that's just my take.
This whole big merger. Yeah, let's not touch that today. Let's just say they really went all out. I mean, you know, when we make fun of them, they, you know, did he hang dong? Oh yeah, he hung dong. You know, full frontal, man. we saw it all and more.
Yeah, so many times.
And you know,
it was like being in a Greek Renaissance painting.
In other more sane times, it might seem cruel and childish, right? But because Trump is in the position that he's in, and he's the way that he is, it takes some serious like balls to go out there and portray Trump in that light, like over and over and over again, knowing full well that you're going to draw all of the ire of his fragile ego. You know, it's a guarantee. So I applaud them for that.
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, like, it's not like, I mean, like, you know, like, and this is just, and anyone who's like bitching that like they're taking, I mean, like, I know very few people are, but like, just in case anyone actually is under the illusion that they only pick on certain people and things like that, I will remind everyone there is a great episode that was split in, that had 2 different endings depending on who won the presidential race, and it all runs around a freaking heist of a diamond.
Yep.
So, like, anyone who's taking who takes this stuff too personally, calm the fuck down, please, and just relax.
They have a bunch of episodes making fun of Hillary Clinton, and one of them is an episode in which she gets a nuclear device implanted in her snatch that will destroy the town of South Park, at least, in a terrorist attack. So, yeah, they definitely don't really pull their punches in either direction, you know. They're just... Yeah.
They're just along for the ride.
Right. I mean, 27 years of complete and utter failure, apparently, according to Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, they failed so hardcore, they're now billionaires.
Yeah, they just inked a $1.5 billion streaming deal with Paramount, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, can we officially say this? When we say they officially sold out while at the same time applauding their absolute no fucks to give attitude with what they're going to put on TV? Because can both things be true, or is it just cynical of me to say that because they made this amount of money, therefore they've compromised, when in fact the opposite may be true? This may be giving them a degree of freedom that they hadn't been able to achieve before.
Yeah, I would say the second. I definitely don't think that they sold out in any respect, because the opening episode just was such a battering ram. I mean, they touched on so many different things.
Round 4.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they touched on so many different themes. I mean, for fuck's sake, they even threw in, you know, the devil Saddam Hussein scene from the movie, and just, you know, switched the narrative slightly.
Relax, guy.
Like that told me all I needed to know.
I'll sue you.
Just like, I'll sue you. Yeah, exactly. You know, I mean, like, yeah, definitely didn't sell out in any respect. I mean, like, they're ooh, nice commando. You know, I mean, you even get a little freaking Jesus joke and be like, guys, eat the bread. I'm trying to tell you something.
Yeah. That was pretty funny. And the way he just portrayed Jesus in schools, and they just did it literally. Like, we're going to put Jesus with his shining countenance just right in the middle of the hallways.
Yeah. Yeah, and you'll just pass them by and be so confused.
And then not PC principle, not political correct principle, but power Christian principle, PCP two, the PCP.
PCP too. Dude, South Park is just such gold on so many different levels. It's such a good show.
And we haven't watched a lot of it recently. I'll freely admit that I'm, a pandemic plus behind. Let's put it that way. So this was sort of the first new episode from any of the new stuff they've done since the Integrity Farm stuff, and basically season 18 is where I sort of fell off watching it for some reason.
Yeah, me too. Because I just recently watched a few days ago season 18, episode 1, the Redskins episode, where they take where they take over the logo and then start changing it ever so slightly by putting a dick in front of it, and just our company's mission is to not give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
In accordance to that mission, we have now updated our logo to not give a fuck even more. It's so great.
Yeah, so it was good to see season 27, episode 1 being fucking funny as hell. Get some actual laugh out loud moments, and then it was great, to zap back to season 18, and have that we just put the Lord episode on, where the beat reporter or the Spin magazine reporter is going to out Randy as Lord, and then he's singing that song that he wrote, and it changes his mind, and he deletes the article just like Ben Urich does in Daredevil when he's going to write about Matt Murdock, the blind lawyer, Hell's Kitchen,
Yeah, which I call horse shit.
But it's South Park. They're allowed to make those kind of cliches because it doesn't have to be believable.
Oh, no, yeah, it's true. But as soon as I see that, I'm just like, if one person finds out the truth, other people will find out the truth, too.
Yeah.
But now I'm just injecting too much realism into South Park, and I told people, and I'm not heeding my own advice for telling people to chill the fuck out. So, y'all in the comments tell me to chill the fuck out about storylines.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to actually catching up on South Park now, and looking forward to watching, the shitstorm that's going to unfold, because who doesn't love a slugfest between billionaires, I guess. Except when it's Elon and Trump, it just seems really childish.
I don't know. I kind of love it when Elon and Trump are fighting. This is the sad thing right now, and I know we are sort of straying into
away from
Dicecast territory,
yes.
But let's just I'll put it mildly. The sad thing is that the political arena is theater these days, and the most entertaining aspect of reality to a certain respect, because movies are just, South Park is a good parody of life, but unfortunately the only reason South Park works that well, I'm dead.
Oh shit. Yep. What happened?
Well, I went to get a max ammo, and then zombies were cornering me, and then I tried to go out to the left and then to the right, and then I had to do a little dodging and shit like that. But oh no, you're dead. Not good.
Bitch, please don't tell me I'm dead.
You're dead. You're gonna die. But no, yeah, this shit is political theater. Literal political theater. The gladiatorial sports of the Roman Empire has now been transformed into dick fests between podcasts and networks. It's a real sad commentary, but it's 100% true. And you just look, and if you look at fucking politics through that lens, my God, will you never be bored? You will always be entertained.
Well, yeah, that the fault of instant communication, instant hot takes, and the necessity to be the first to spring any kind of news, whether it's newsworthy or not, has completely changed the landscape of how we absorb news. Plus, getting news in 125 character sound bites from Twitter was not the best way to start this all off. Facebook should not have ever can be considered a reliable source of news. Jon Stewart and Stephen Colbert should not have somehow become trusted news sources in America. That is a joke. It's a joke. Oh God, it's a joke show it's supposed to be funny. And yeah, it's topical, but you should not be using it to inform yourself about geopolitics in the world, because while there's a lot of stuff in there that's great, you can learn from it, you should probably back that shit up with, I don't know, actual news sources. The Associated Press and Reuters are good places to start.
Ooh,
But
nice Wind of Waffle.
now we're getting dry and depressing. So
Yes,
going
going back
I'll say
to
about South Park is dope as shit. South Park rules. It always will. And I'm excited for 50 plus more episodes, several more specials.
Yeah, definitely. Now moving on to something else that is new, and I don't know if exciting is the right word, but it wasn't an awful movie. Superman, the new one.
The new James
saw
Gunn
it.
approved Superman.
Yeah, and that was it. Like, I liked it for the most part. I mean, well, okay, wait, no. Okay, when I say I liked it, like, it was a decent Superman, especially for, like, let's just call it. It's not like an origin Superman, and if anyone's watching, spoilers ahead, because I'll just tell.
But it's been out for a couple weeks, so if you're watching this and you get spoiled about it, then it's your more or less on you, or you just don't care about the movie anyway.
Yeah. Which is completely okay, because, I mean, Superman. There's been a million Supermans.
They've rebooted the franchise too many times. I understand that there are no new ideas in Hollywood, and everything's derivative. And we always liked Batman and Superman and, the Marvel Extended Universe and stuff like that. It's always been fun. But it's getting a little bit stale, and they have the continuing need to reboot it, because each time they try to reboot it previous times, it was kind of lame. It wasn't that great. So let's try again until we succeed, I suppose. At least there's no J.J. Abrams randomly trying to do it.
Oh God, boatload of camera lens flares and way too much. Well, actually, I'm gonna say there's a little too much action in the Superman in the new one.
Yeah. I know you said that, and you're right, but it didn't really bother me because I really just kind of enjoyed it and was able to sort of, I don't know, disengage and just enjoy the ride. It's like saying that Top Gun Maverick had too much action. I'm like, eh. Okay, I'm out of ammo, so I'm going to run through here right quick. Purchase myself another gun.
Yeah, I'm just kind of wunderwaffling it up right now.
Yeah, I don't have any ammo for my command.
I have that in a CZ75, so I'm not in I'm gonna just get an SGG44. It seems like you got the same.
Yeah, that's what I just got.
The best.
Yeah, so I enjoyed it for what it was. A really colorful, hyper-saturated thrill ride.
Yeah, it was definitely super colorful. Me personally, I mean, you know me, I'm a very story-driven dude, so I can't turn my brain off if there is too much of the story sacrificed for action, and that is definitely the main criticism I have of that movie. Is that because I get, and you don't have to. I understand why they didn't show Lois and Clark get together for the first time, because it seems like especially every first Superman, it always happens, and it is sort of overplayed, and you're like, all right, yeah, cool, I don't need to see another how they got together. But when they suddenly just are together and you don't actually see it happen, it's a really jarring fact, because I wasn't sure at first until I saw them kiss, and I was like, oh, okay, well, apparently they are together already. And I missed the idea of I missed the fact that I didn't get to see that happen, even if it would have been really early on. I mean, because they do a good job, be 27 years or 30 years, whatever, an alien landed on the thing 7 days ago, whatever, 3 hours ago.
I think it was all multiples of 3, 33 years ago, 33 weeks ago, 33 days ago, 3 hours, whatever, some kind of countdown like that.
Yeah.
It was some. Oh my God, come on, no.
You can do it.
I got cornered reloading, and I just couldn't get it back again. Oh, well, that was disappointing.
I got dicked on the box. I mean, absolutely dicked. I got 0.
If I hadn't run out of ammo for the commando, and if I had run just a little bit better away from those dogs right then, it might have been fine. But, well.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
We'll reload the same map.
Yeah, I mean, the movie was fun. I think it's one of those movies that's definitely better to watch in the theaters than it is, at home, or, I don't know, on your phone or something stupid like that. You want the full experience for a movie like that, because without the epic cinematics and the bright colors and the cool special effects and the incredibly detailed CGI on the dog and on the robots and all that stuff, you're kind of missing the whole reason to watch it, because it's a visual feast. It's a treat in that way, in a way that a lot of movies aren't. Think about Endgame. Was it colorful? Yes, in that there were colors. There were explosions, and, Iron Man's suit was still gold and red and all that stuff, but James Gunn's Superman was incredibly saturated. The blues and the reds were really popping blues and reds.
It was very Guardians of the Galaxy feel.
Yeah, but without.
But
without
like
the
silly
Guardians of the Galaxy for some reason. Like it didn't.
Well,
it didn't
that's
feel
because,
like a ripoff, even though it's his own stuff. You know what I mean? Like he's got.
Yeah, but that's like the beautiful thing about DC. I mean, like I like the Marvel universe. I mean, in comics and all of this stuff. But Marvel's always been really fluffy and light. In like their themes, even in like even in like the Infinity Saga with the Infinity Gauntlet and Thanos and shit like that, it does not compare to like Apocalypse or Crisis on Infinite Earths. Yeah, like the themes are a lot darker in DC and allows for a lot more of a mature undertone where you have universal, because like Thanos, if you just take the, just like wanting to preserve life on a universal thing, like the universe is finite and stuff like that.
To preserve life, we must destroy some life.
Yeah, but
some of you may die.
Some of you may die. Yeah, exactly. But like Darkseid and like the Universal Conqueror, that the Anti-Monitor being, basically, a complete antithesis to life, is a lot more of an existential crisis than anything Marvel really throws into their comic books.
So do you think that's part of the reason why the screen adaptations of the Marvel Universe were so wildly successful, while, in contrast, the only truly successful DC franchise that comes immediately to mind is Batman? And original Superman is incredibly popular too.
Yeah,
but are they to the same level as the MCU, Iron Man, Avengers, those characters and their offshoot movies?
I would say like the cinematic universe for Marvel is more successful because of like the lighter-hearted themes, but also Marvel was smart and took time to properly develop their characters. Like Iron Man got his own movie. Thor got his own movie. Captain America got his own. They all got 3 movies, but like they were all introduced individually.
And however you want to think of it, was planned or not that way. Without Iron Man and Tony and Robert Downey Jr. headlining that first movie, I don't know that there is an MCU. Because even when the movie isn't about Iron Man, it kind of is sometimes.
It's
Captain America: Civil War.
No, that is the best example. It should not be called Captain America: Civil War. It should be Captain America versus Iron Man.
Yeah,
it should never been called Civil War, because it is those two are clashing heads in ideology and like what they want to do, and one of them is not willing to forgive what the other did. Yeah, let's get out of here. That is, without Tony Stark, definitely to kick off the MCU, you don't get any of the MCU.
Yeah, and taking the risk on Robert Downey Jr. to come and headline that role and just totally fucking crush it. Like there's no one, I think, from this who's been born in the last 25 years that doesn't think of Tony Stark as Iron Man and Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Like, it's going to be really weird to see Robert Downey Jr. in whatever role they cast him as. Yeah, that's going to be some stuff. Who knows?
And honestly, he is Tony Stark. Because Victor Doom is just an evil Tony Stark. It's like, it's so fucked up. So like he's basically playing himself, but just a different version of him. Like,
yeah, I don't know if there are any if there's any information about it yet. Oh god damn.
Whoops.
But. I think it'd be kind of fun if it was like Victor. From a mirror universe. Is Tony Stark gone rogue in a mirror universe, and that's actually who Victor Doom is? Like, that
if they're kind of smart, they'll actually lead into that, because that would work the best in my mind.
But according to the comics, I don't think that's how he is, though. I don't think it is.
No,
it definitely isn't Tony Stark, obviously. Whoops.
No. Victor is just an incredibly smart person who just
a dictator of whatever Latavia or something. I can't remember what pseudo Eastern Bloc. Nation it sounds like, but it sounds vaguely Eastern European, I think, if I remember right. It's been a minute.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if they'll actually go into that part, because they'll probably want to make him a more, because like wait, because I'm also pretty sure, if I remember correctly, they also want to lead this into Secret War. So I'm pretty sure Victor will lead into that too. So they'll I think they're trying to get it. Like, are they? They might be trying to make 2 movies with this, and then Secret War. Who knows? All this to say, honestly, like the MCU is dead. Like, let it die.
Yeah, but what else does Marvel do?
Nothing.
Yeah, what else can they do?
I mean, like, yeah, like.
I mean, how do you reboot? Like, you reboot from this? You start alternate timeline? Do you really dig deep into some like side characters? Do you?
Well, there's some. Yeah, I guess.
And I'm sure people, bigger fans than I, obviously, because I'm not a huge Marvel or DC guy. I've never been I used to read comics more and sort of got away from it, so I can't call myself a fan really anymore either. Familiarity is about what it is at this point.
Yeah.
But, I don't know this for sure. I'm sure there are tons of comic book people out there who can pull just from easy memory, easy recall, 15 different storylines that the MCU could go into that'd be really interesting. So I'd love to hear those takes down in the comments if someone gets this far and has some wisdom they want to share with us. That'd be cool.
No, yeah, definitely, yeah. Let us know. I mean, like, I know there are other stories that would work. At this point, I just don't trust Marvel to not fuck it up.
I mean, do you trust any studio to do anything ever anymore? Honestly, I mean, it's hard to trust most. A24 maybe, but
A24, I think I would give. I give the benefit of the doubt.
Apple weirdly has some bangers.
Yeah, Apple weirdly has some bangers. I have more faith, ironically, in overseas productions like Germany, Korea, Japan, and ironically China for better stories than anything in the U.S. at this point.
I mean, the China.
So,
yeah. That's kind of sad, isn't it? You know, it's not
really
unexpected.
Is. No, definitely not unexpected. Because I mean, like, my God, like, dude, some of like the Chinese fantasy I've watched, man, like, it's really good. Well, actually, no, like, no, not the Chinese fantasy, like the modern Chinese stories and shit like that, dude. The message that they like inadvertently put in about like nationalism,
inadvertently,
and well, oh no, not inadvertently. I know that was the wrong word.
Yeah,
no,
you
very,
mean completely
very
on purpose?
yeah, massively on purpose. Like it's so. It kind of reminds me of watching shit that was made in the last 5 years here, you know, like completely in like the Me Too movements and like that type of shit. It's like they don't even try to hide it. They don't even blush. It's just like straight there, you know. I mean, in a certain respect, I kind of wish that I would watch a TV show and see the American flag as much as I've seen the Chinese fucking flag in some of their shows, because like fuck me, they're everywhere.
Well, Ian, you're just not
it
watching
feels
the right TV shows. Like, no, seriously. You want to see the American flag and stuff, I mean, go watch a show like probably Longmire, some good old True Grit American crap like Yosemite or 1928 or any of that crap. All that you can watch any of that Jack Reacher competence porn type stuff. That's gonna be tons of rah American stuff, even if the flag's not there.
No, it's not the same.
Absolutely military like propaganda.
But it's not the same.
Really? Okay.
No,
yeah, you've watched more of it.
Like,
I'm just calling examples that I can think of that are totally like gung ho American military kind of stuff.
Yeah, but then you see, like, that's...
you know what? American Dad has the American flag all the time, okay? So, I don't know what you mean.
Yeah, no, like, it's like, that they... Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm getting dicked over.
I've got a China Lake and a FAL, and I got two Law before that, so...
I got dual-wield CZs and a G11 right now.
Oh, good, a shotgun. That's better than the China Lake, I guess.
Yeah.
Get some! And then I back up.
Wait, open up... I'll open up this door, because we're just gonna die. Shit, we went far afield from Superman.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We...
But... Oh, no, but bringing it back to Superman, though, so, like, the lack of story, that's one thing annoyed me. The fact that, yeah, I didn't get to see Lois and Thing come together at first just was weird and jarring, because like I wasn't expecting it. So
it's kind of like
not necessarily
like you picked up in the second movie of a trilogy almost.
Yes, that's really what it is. Yeah, like you don't see. I mean, like because in the beginning, it's like, oh yeah, Superman announced himself to the world at this date. That's like it's cool to get like I understand getting it over with because it's not strictly necessary since we've seen it 10,000 times in different stories. But since we haven't seen it, but since we didn't get to see it, it makes the whole movie, yeah, as you said, feel like it's a second movie. Like there's something missing that, like wait, did I miss the prequel? Where was the first one? What's going on? So yeah, it's just kind of, so that's jarring. I don't like the way they did.
Go ahead.
Wait, what? I don't like the way they did Mom and Pa Kent. They made them way too freaking hillbilly, in not a good way. Like those two deserved a better, not interpretation, just more like just an accurate one. Like you don't need to make them have their freaking accent that thick. You can make them. You don't need to have them, Alibaba style fat. You can have them more or less regular weight. We don't need to be glorifying this, the obesity epidemic. Now I'm just drifting into something else there. But, so like, yeah, I wasn't quite appreciative of the way they did that. And then the two things that really the one thing that really, those two things that piss me off. The time where Superman almost dies because of suffocation, that's super stupid because there's no kryptonite to stop him. They're just like, oh yeah, nanites are going to be burning off the oxygen in his lungs. How the fuck? I mean, like, I'm sorry, no, that's not the way they explain that. That just did not work.
Well,
for me.
Physiologically, I don't know how Superman Krypton physiology differs from human physiology. Obviously, in very significant ways, because he can absorb energy from our sun in like a weird like hyper photosynthesis kind of way. So obviously he's got some specialized cells that do that kind of stuff. He does obviously need oxygen to breathe though, so we have to assume that his lungs work basically the same way that ours do. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, I am so rude. Yep, that was just great. We have to assume that his lungs work essentially the same way that ours do. Gas exchange, all that stuff through pulmonary and cardiovascular systems up in your chest. So, assuming that he has alveoli that do, we're good at this, that do actually do gas exchange and stuff like that. If you could block all those alveoli with a foreign substance, and if you could control that foreign substance, and you can make sure that it infiltrates every single part of it, including all the bronchi and stuff like that, I don't see why you couldn't suffocate somebody that way. If you could get that kind of granular control over hundreds of billions of nanites is what it would take, because they have to be, well, they're nanites. They're tiny.
Yes. Theoretically it works, but in my mind, without kryptonite, that idea doesn't work. So that's why I dislike it. But the thing that really pisses me off is the second part of the message that his parents send with him, being like, you need to build a big harem and lead Earth like that. I was like I was slapping my head in my face. I was like,
where does that stack up in the list of? All right, you may not know this, but is there any kind of comic book basis for this, or is this new?
As far as, okay, I don't know for sure, but for what I do know, because I haven't read every single issue of Superman, I probably only read like 30. Okay. But as far as I know, that breaks the lore completely.
And I don't think it was even necessary.
No.
You could absolutely have made it so that, Lex Luthor, the genius that he is, was still able to fabricate it and make it look 100% authentic. Because he can do everything else, so why couldn't he do that? And it would be perfectly in his wheelhouse. He can create a fucking
pocket dimension, but he can't fake a message. Like that's a lack of thinking.
Exactly.
Though speaking of Lex, though, my God, Nicholas Holt's performance, I love that. That was my favorite part of the whole movie. His performance.
He's no Jesse Eisenberg.
I like Jesse Eisenberg's version of Lex Luthor. I'm down with the quasi insane wannabe Zombieland killer. I'm okay with that. I might be in the minority here. People in the comments and viewers tell me how full of shit I am, but I actually kind of dig that. I mean, I also will defend Superman: Dawn of Justice.
The Thunder and Dice Brothers serving up hot takes since 2024.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll defend that movie too. So that's where I'm coming from.
All right, Roger. I was just trying to make a dumb joke because I actually don't care too much for those movies in general, and not necessarily him in particular. I think he did a fine job. I think it was interesting. I don't think they're the best movies, and it's not something I want to return and watch often. I don't know. It just doesn't occur to me to do that. But a movie like Batman Begins, for example, I can absolutely get on board with watching that pretty much whenever. It's just a great movie.
That is
It's really
fucking
hard
epic
for me
movie.
to argue that it's not like my favorite. It's not the best, and it's not necessarily my favorite. But in terms
Which
of
one
just
out
like,
of the three is?
all right, so here's the weird thing. I enjoy The Dark Knight, the second movie the best. I
Yeah.
think it's the best movie. I think Heath Ledger's performance is excellent.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think it's a fantastic movie. In terms of movies that I want to return to more often, I prefer Batman Begins. For the sole reason that if I'm watching something for pleasure and I want to return to it and just like have kind of a mindless good time, it fits that role better. It's really straightforward. You've got, a little bit of the subversion with who the bad guy really is. It's not Scarecrow. Scarecrow's being controlled. Stuff like that. So you got a little bit of that fun intrigue, but really, it's a really fucking good origin story for Batman, man. Like, Christian Bale nails it. Morgan Freeman and his gadgets totally fucking nail it. Like, it's just great to rewatch, and the stakes aren't nearly as, like, high as with the Joker. The Joker's just some serious, like, crazy shit, It feels a lot more visceral and real and dangerous. And not to say that the stakes are low or anything like that. It's all of Gotham once again in Batman Begins.
But Ra's al Ghul in the comics never there's not a couple like independent comic books where Ra's al Ghul kills Lois Lane or who else does the Joker kill in a few of the comics? Because he kills Lois in one of them, and that causes Superman to go dark. I think he does he kill Damian? Batman's son, maybe. I think he might.
I'm
either
sure
that
something
or
like that happens. Yeah, you
there are a couple.
than I.
Ooh, shit! There's a happy here. Yeah, there are a couple comics. Yeah, where the Joker just goes full. I mean, Joker, and changes the paradigm of the world. I definitely understand where Ra's al Ghul's a little more chill, which ironically he's not, but he is.
But the movie's just kind of more badass too, because at the end, not badass, but Batman just kicks ass in it. That's how it ends, There's no the second movie is just an amazing movie because of the elements that it plays with, and it creates Two-Face in such a to the ethical conundrum, and then switching it up, it's so good. But it's kind of satisfying in the first movie just to watch Batman sort of evolve and kick some ass all movie long, just beat down on bad dudes, and like the scene in the docks where he is sort of flitting in and out between the containers on the ship on the dock, and just taking out Falcone's henchmen one at a time. Oh, it's so awesome. So that's where I stand on that. The second movie is by far the best. Batman Begins is the one that I would want to rewatch at any time.
And then The Dark Knight Rises?
Just felt like kind of a chore to watch a little bit. Like, I have nothing against Tom Hardy or really his Bane portrayal. Like, I know he's not really the...
He's not the souped up,
at least he's better than Bane was in Batman and Robin with Uma Thurman and stuff. Like, holy
because at least he spoke.
Yeah, at least he's smart, and he's planning, and he's still ripped and got some juice and stuff like that. The Hulk, excuse me. The way they portrayed him in the Kloonster Batman. Oof, that was rough. That was real bad.
Ooh,
he was just like a mindless idiot.
Yeah, that shit's pretty rough.
So
I mean, for me,
for that, I think it was okay. It felt like a chore a little bit. It's not a movie I really care to return to very often. It's by far the weakest of the three, unfortunately.
Oh yeah.
And it gets kind of a cheesy ending, which is like whatever. Fine, everyone,
Oh come on, he gets his happily ever after.
And
all he has to do is fake his death, and Alfred gets to see it, and that somehow makes it okay for him lying to every other person. That he basically, I mean, he pulls a House, or House pulls a Bruce Wayne. Depends on which way you want to look at it. Yeah, faking your own death, that's a cop out. Having a happy ever after with fucking Celine. I mean, if you want to wrap it up as a, to make it a happy, lovey-dovey thing, yay, that's nice. All right, yeah, cool. I can sort of see it. Yeah, you're right. It's a cheesy ending. For me personally, going in reverse order, The Dark Knight Rises is a real shit show in my mind. Like, I don't like Ra's al Ghul's daughter. I don't like the origin story for Bane. Well, no, for her, not Bane. I don't like Bane really that at all because he's not a souped up, kind of like crazy roid head who will just like charge in sort of like recklessly with a stupid amount of strength. It's just like he was beaten up, so he needs like what, liquid morphine constantly shoved into his face to not feel pain. That's basically
something like that. Yeah.
And then as soon as Batman like punches the like his respirator or whatever you want to call it, he suddenly starts moving insanely quick, even though that doesn't make sense because it should be the liquid that's getting constantly pumped into him that's making him faster and stronger.
And then literally breaking Batman's back over his knee, and then Batman recovering from having a traumatic spinal injury like that is I don't know what to call that. Like, obviously not believable, right? Duh.
No.
But like,
and especially the way he got healed by like a rope and gravity.
Yeah, it's man, that just seemed, and didn't it seem too long to you? A little bit too long?
Oh, it's insanely long. It just kept going and going and going.
But to be fair, it has some of the coolest, like, I mean, come on, the football field collapsing behind the player is dope.
That's great.
The
I mean, like, that whole
all
scene,
the
actually.
dumbass police but under the ground is just hilariously on point for, what would probably happen. Absolutely be able to trick the NYPD finest to get lost in the sewers.
Yeah, that definitely works quite well. So yeah, like the whole movie, it's mid. The Dark Knight, I think, because of Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker, it's my favorite out of the three. I mean, it's got my favorite line. Batman says, "Let her go." Joker's like, very poor choice of words.
Yeah.
And then just lets her drop.
Yeah.
That is like peak. I can watch that scene on repeat like 100 times and I won't get bored of it because it's so Joker. Like, if you wanted to nail the Joker in one line, that one was it.
Very poor choice of words.
Yeah, poor choice of words.
It's almost a different person. Like watching Heath Ledger in, I don't know, 10 Things I Hate About You or something, and then compare that to the Heath Ledger in that. I mean, you always knew he had acting chops, but he took it to a whole new level for that movie, didn't he?
Yeah. Though I don't know, I'm gonna say he wouldn't have gotten the Oscar if he hadn't have died.
I don't know who
I don't
else
want
he
to
was
be
up
mean.
against, so I can't remember. All I know is a phenomenal performance that I think at least is Oscar nominee worthy.
No, yeah. Like, I think he would have gotten the nomination, but I don't know if he would have won because, like, his death is just like, it's just too. It just made the performance even better by him dying and like the tragedy of it. Like, I'm not saying this to take away any aspect of that performance because we've been gushing over it.
Yes.
Like, it is for fuck's sake, it is the best.
Damn it.
I was going to say Jack Nicholson performance, but I was like, no. I mean, Jack Nicholson's Joker is also really
I mean,
too, but it's not crazy enough.
I had to
too grounded.
I had to rewatch it. Of course, after the movie came out, I had to be like, all right, let's go ahead and compare and contrast these two performances. And you're right, they're very different. I'm sorry, I don't think I'll be able to get you.
I have no good guns anyway, so let me die.
They're really they're different. In the same way that Jack Nicholson's is different than the Cesar Romero portrayal. They're just different eras, different tasks, different origins, basically. Because we don't really have an origin for the Joker in this one, which is actually really dope. I really like that.
Which is actually the smart thing, because you don't need. I mean, like, that's one of these things that the origin I don't like about Tim Burton's version is because it does give the Joker an origin story, and that diminishes the character. Because like for me, origin stories are really dangerous. If you're giving it to an antagonist, you have to be really, really careful on what antagonist you're giving it to, and especially the Joker. The Joker is one of these characters that is almost undefinable. He's like God. You can't pin him down, except for
he's an agent of chaos. He's chaotic, bad. I guess.
Yeah, he just is. Yeah, he is chaotic bad. I mean, like if you wanted to put him in a pantheon, he's closer to like Loki than like for mischief and pure just chaotic, the chaotic nature of him. So like, yeah, I don't like the origin story or any type of origin story for Joker, because it diminishes from the character. You don't need to explain everything. Like Batman's origin story, that makes sense, because why did he become Batman? All right, yeah, cool, we figured that out. But why does someone become the Joker? That's the reason I don't like the movie The Joker.
There's too much backstory stuff.
Yeah, like Joaquin Phoenix does a really great job. I mean, it's an amazing movie. The acting is superb. I haven't seen the second one, and I don't want to, because I don't like fucking musicals. No, I mean I do, but like I don't like musicals in this respect.
You don't think you'll like that
when you cross it over to superhero crap or like that genre, it's just like keep those two apart. But whatever. But yeah, like his performance is amazing, but what they try to do is like, oh yeah, like him just, having like this real mental health problem, and like Arthur laughing all the time, and in uncomfortable situations, to him then murdering Robert De Niro on screen, and that's basically the origin of the Joker. That really did not satisfy me as a storyteller or the character of the Joker. Like for me personally, that just seemed like it's a cool interpretation of an origin story. I'll give you that.
It is kind of a bummer we decided. Not we, excuse me. They decided, because there's very little originality, it seems, right now. Let's just put it that way. That's what audiences wanted. They wanted more origin stories. They wanted more prequels. They wanted more sequels. They wanted more back in the dayquels. Everything.
Yeah. I mean, like fucking Disney went on a.
They want a real life. Yeah. Adaptation.
Yeah, I mean, like they did Cruella. They did Maleficent. I think. Did they do another evil baddie? I think they might have.
Probably. I just sort of stopped paying attention because I got burned out by all that crap. I mean, I just didn't want to see it. I didn't really want a Lion King live action. I don't think that's a good thing to adapt. Some things are just awesome in animation, and some things are great in live action. If you can pull off live action fantasy, it's a really hard thing to do, and I think talking animals qualifies as really, really difficult fantasy to pull off in live action, especially when you try to make it all hyper real, and all you end up getting is, here's the thing about lions. You can't really tell them apart very well. They all kind of look like lions. Can you tell, like, this lion is, like, girl number one, and there's girl number two, and there's boy number two, and there's boy number two's boyfriend, but not really, because they're just, like, closeted. Can you tell that by looking at Lion Pride?
Closeted.
Yeah, no, you can't.
They got, you got a big-ass mane, or you don't got a big-ass mane. That's basically, like, the only thing. And that's why, like, you gotta be bloody kidding me again, but whatever. But like Lion King, that's why Simba, worked the way he was, and what's the evil one's name? Yeah, Scar, because like the color of the mane, the animation of it, the eyes, the facial expressions, they were all changed in the correct way to that you're just like, oh, I know who this person is, or like I understand why. I understand, like, just on the field, like, okay, I know he's bad, I know he's good. But when you throw them on, for a live action thing, and you just CGI the hell out of everything, you're just kind of left watching, be like, all right, cool, I'm supposed to empathize with a lion that actually looks like a lion. The lizard part of my brain tells me that this thing is going to eat me, but I'm sitting in a theater rooting for it.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work.
It's just kind of a sad reflection. It's like, look what we can do with a computer now. Like, great.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, yeah, like, because, like, seriously, like, CGI, I think it's gotten worse to a certain respect.
I don't know if it's gotten worse. I think that it's gotten so good that people think that they can rely solely on it for large portions of a film. It's also gotten so good that you can basically set, for example, your film or show in any time period and make it look 100% believable on screen, and you will never know that it's CGI, because CGI is great at creating virtual worlds that are static. Are you kidding me? Creating a city block is probably something that it would excel at. There's no moving particles you got to worry about there. It's a facade over a building. So cool stuff like that you'll never notice, or cars moving in the background. You see how hyper-realistic Forza is and how little computing power it takes to run?
But Forza is a game in its complete totality. The problem with using CGI backgrounds is camera. It never is it's never in the correct
Well, let's talk about this.
Focus.
Babylon Berlin.
I never watched Babylon Berlin.
Damn you, that's right. All right, well, for those playing the I'm from America and don't watch foreign media game, I will briefly say that Babylon Berlin is the most expensive German-produced and shot and directed and all that stuff created television show of all time, and it is a phenomenal story that takes place sort of on the eve of the Great Depression, the eve of the outbreak of Nazism in Germany prior to Hitler's ultimate election to the chancellery, or selection to the chancellery, I should say. Yeah, so that's where it takes place, and so as a result of that, they're transporting you back into 1920s Germany with, and Berlin specifically, with all that entails. So all the debauchery, because it was sort of the hub of sin and wickedness in Europe at that time. Sort of the cutting edge of fun party stuff. It's where New York took its styles from Berlin, so they say. So, yeah, that's where they had to recreate, and most of it, a lot of it, plenty of buildings existed and survived the war, but they completely digitized entire parts of Berlin for this show, and it looks phenomenal.
I'm not saying that
completely real. It's an amazing use of CGI that I would never have picked out.
Is it mapped like out of curiosity? Did they film this in the city and shit like that, but then start mapping on the facades to the buildings that already exist?
I don't actually know what they used. I just know it was a ton of CGI, and I can't tell you where it is. That's how what I got out of it. And we, it's not that I was looking for it specifically either, because it's a great show with great acting and great cinematography and great characters and a great story. Very, very gripping, but unfortunately, as it would be, it's kind of depressing. There's a lot of issues about PTSD from World War I that he's facing, and the ghosts of his past, and he's sort of addicted to this drug that stops his tremors, and then it's a whole lot of stuff going on. And meanwhile, he's also a very successful police officer in the Berlin political office. Excuse me, the political police, because of course Germans have political police.
That's a terrifying word.
Yeah, so that's what he does. But he is in the murder division of the political police.
Oh, so when the government kills people, they send him to cover it up.
More like when the rich and famous commit crimes or are murdered, his division is sort of at the center of the investigation.
Oh, so to protect their asses.
Oftentimes, for political expediency, that he has to go against the wishes of his superiors, or they have to sort of circumvent the political process or the political powers that be in an attempt to, get shit done. Plus, there's a lot of conspiracies that are going on behind the scenes about the rise of the NSNAP in Germany, the gathering of weapons, the secret training of soldiers, pilots, and all that jazz behind the scenes, the beginning of the Hitler Youth, the beginning of the Brown Coats, the beginning of the beer hall movement, all that stuff is happening right there.
Yeah, because I remember watching a couple scenes with one of the characters sneaking into, or two characters sneaking into what looked like a really kind of fancy store and shit like that, and they tripped the silent alarm, but outside there were the equivalent, there were brown shirts starting their march. And it looked it was just kind of a sketchy thing. I was like, oh my god, are they using this as cover to rob this, or are they subversive? What the hell's going on? It did. I mean, I will say, it did look good. But going back to the thing about CGI though, is that it's extremely hard to have the camera focus correctly, because it's one of these things that I don't know if maybe I'm just a freak. And I'm just, because since I'm a painter, I'm just hyper visually on it, whatever word you want to use it. But when I see depth of field that's wrong, it's just glaringly obvious. And CGI more often than not always feels wrong.
You think it's too in focus sometimes when it shouldn't be?
I mean, sometimes it's too in focused, sometimes it's just too out focused. It's just threading that needle is I mean, virtually impossible. It's not impossible. It's just really, really difficult. And when it's done right, it's amazing. But I just feel like more often than not, I just like, that's just not correct. You just what the fuck is this? I can know that this is not real. And every time I see it, it just really takes me out of the film.
Yeah, bad CGI really does take you out of the film. It's really dramatic, and that's why when you lean in for that hyper realism, you don't even in the case of The Lion King, I think you don't even get drawn into the film because of
it stopped.
It's hyper realistic in terms of what a computer can do, but if you put those moving images in front of me, and then you gave me actual Nat Geo images, like or from Planet Earth or something, I'm pretty sure I could pick out which one was computer generated and which one was actually a pride of lions doing stuff.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So even at our best, it's still not realistic enough to really fool me, and because it is just realistic enough to seem real-ish, then everyone just kind of looks like a lion, and yeah, we've come full circle. There's no personality left there to animate.
Yeah, to have fun with.
Think about the animation for the hyenas as a good example of the personality that was animated into the creatures. They've got crazy eyes, and they clearly some of them look really dumb, and you can tell the evil one, or they're all evil, but the leader and the scrappy one and the hot, you can tell personalities by the way they're animated, the way they move, the personality that is given to them through the drawing that you don't get in this sort of, I don't know, as close to real as we can computer image. I hope we get away from it. And that's just beyond the fact that I didn't ask. I know this is my hang-up, so screw you guys, but this is my opinion. I didn't fucking ask for a weird live-action remake of Lion King.
No one did.
Who the hell wants to watch that? Who thought that was a good idea? And don't tell me bean counters, no shit. I mean, like, what person watched that was like, you know what, that's better, that's an improvement. Why the hell would you would you adapt it if it's not going to be at least better in some way? Like, damn. I mean, the only live-action adaptation that I really kind of think I enjoyed was 101 Dalmatians. And even that had some really dumb changes in it that made zero sense. Don't make him a freaking, like, a cheesy computer game designer with some kid that needs to validate his skill. Like, no. Leave him as a musician. What, starving musicians didn't exist in 1998?
I am so glad that I A, forgot that they made a live action of 101 Dalmatians, and B, never saw it. Because holy hell, yeah, like, no, just, I mean, like, because when you said live action, I thought you were going to say Scooby-Doo. Be like, that's the only live action remake that I...
Oh, I suppose I was kind of pigeonholing that into just Disney movies, yeah. I didn't really
Disney
include
movies, yeah.
Scooby-Doo, but... yeah, I think that was actually kind of fun. Jeff Daniels playing Roger, I think he was okay. The character was different. They made him American, which I kind of dislike. I think they should have all been British still. It should have happened in London, or I think it did happen in London still. I don't know, wherever the hell it happened. And then they have annoying children characters in it that are completely useless. Like the actual... Oh, God. Like the children are puppies that matter in the original movie, and they're somehow not annoying like real children are. Real, like, human children in movies
real children are awful.
Super annoying. Like,
you want to ruin a story? I mean, a movie or a TV show or some shit. Add actual children to the story. It's never a good thing. I mean, like Orville is a great example. Every episode with the doctor's Claire's children. My God, do I want to just scratch my eyes out? Or Cisco's frickin' child, Jake and Nog. I really do not like either of them. Like Jake. The only episode I like with Jake is the one where he's a writer. He's old. His dad is caught in that like weird perpetual like death loop that he has to break by killing himself. That's the only episode I like of him because he's not a child. And then Nog just fucking annoys the shit out of me because he's just a child Frankie, and it's just like, I don't want to see children in Star Trek.
Yeah,
but like just what?
You're like Picard.
Picard, oh yeah. Picard, yeah. In this respect, Picard, until you get to Inner Light, then that completely change. That should change for Picard, though it doesn't.
My life was complete he would have a family.
Yes, exactly. Because then he would absolutely have much more of a soft spot for children. But yeah, like children in TV shows and shit like that, or in movies, it never works well.
Generally, it's pretty bad. I mean, there are obviously some very big, glaring, notable exceptions. I think The Goonies is a huge. Stand By Me is another great example.
Stand By Me is overrated.
Okay, but you think it's because the kids are bad actors and it ruins the movie? You think it would be better if they were all adults? That would be silly.
Nah, Stand By Me is Will Wheaton's practical joke to tell everyone he's a good actor.
Throw in some shade Will Wheaton's way. I'm sure he's watching. So, is there a way to, like,
Will,
make sure he watches this? Just this moment here.
We'll clip this part up and spam it to.
I mean, Will Wheaton is a great example of why children on TV are really annoying. No offense to him or his character, and I actually, have a lot of respect for Will Wheaton and what he went through on set and his personal life and how he, dealt with the fans and all that stuff. Like, he's actually he seems like a really decent human being, and the character of Wesley gets a lot of hate, but it's not like his fault that he's really annoying in the first couple seasons. Like, and then the way they got rid of him was really silly. It's tough to be a child on screen and make it believable and something that people are okay with watching. I'm sure there are a lot of like
the kid who played Anakin.
That was awful, and that was a poor kid, and he may have been a fine actor, but that movie, I guess, really kind of did a number on his mental health, and he didn't end up in a good place as a result of it. So that shit sucks. Being a child actor, like, we give him a lot of shit, but it's really hard to be an actor. Like, you can't really expect a 10-year-old kid generally to have the same kind of emotional control to act like, I don't know, Alan Rickman.
Like that, see, speaking of like 10-year-old, I don't know how old she was, but she was like 10 or 12, something like that, maybe 13. But Natalie Portman in The Professional.
Oh yeah,
like the crying scene after her parents are murdered, and she has to walk past her old apartment, well, her apartment, and then go to Leon's door and knock and shit like that, and she just like starts crying and shit like that. That right there, I love in the director's cut, because like the director's just like, yeah, we did not know if she was going to be able to, if this was working until this scene happened, and then when she filmed it, everyone was like, oh, thank Christ, it works, this is excellent, she can do it. But like, it was like one of those like bated breath moments where you're just like, okay, this will either break or make the film.
Movie, yeah. So there,
my God, does she do it?
That's another great exception
so there are
to
some.
the rule, yeah.
Yeah.
But as a general rule, often especially live action, if you bring in children into a cast, they kind of just annoy the hell out of me. And that's me. Maybe I'm just grouchy and I don't like children. It's fine. They're scared of me and I'm not comfortable around them.
Everyone says I'm very good with children and I don't like them. So
yeah, I think you're just a closeted manny.
Ooh, I'm a closeted manny. I don't know, man. I feel like you just insulted me in some weird codex that I need.
Well, manny is
like a Rosetta Stone. No. I know what it is. It just sounds awful. Though. The one thing, like, live action remakes of animated Avatar.
So far, not too bad.
I like it. I liked it. Like, yeah, I know a couple people who really didn't and think that it was a complete waste of time. But I definitely think that worked relatively well, and the kid that got to play Aang wasn't, like, the most brilliant actor, obviously, but definitely gave me enough emotional range where I was like, you know what? I kind of feel his pain when he's seeing Gyatso, the skeleton of him, and then starts freaking out and goes into the Avatar state and almost blows Katara and Aang off Katara and Sokka off a mountain. Like, there are those scenes where you're just like, yeah, this is some dark shit and shit like that. I feel for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Avatar did a pretty good job.
And you got a real hard line to ride there, because the goofiness of the show, the way he jumps around and laughs and plays, translating that to real life to make it look not just comically just over the top and bad and cheesy is really, really hard, let alone making a child do it, like Ace Ventura kind of levels of cheesiness, but make a kid make it believable and somewhat serious. Like, it's a tall task. So
yeah,
we always want sort of like the perfect story, right? We want the perfect adaptation. We want the perfect representation of the character, and that's not fair. There will be perfect performances, but there won't be many, and we shouldn't expect kids to be able to do it. So sometimes it's helpful to take a bit of a step back from our cynical criticism and realize that these are people like doing a really hard job well enough for us to watch it and want to comment about it and talk about it with you guys. So props out to anyone who put themselves out there like that, and I'll try to be a bit more conscientious about maybe kids when they're in their roles. Like, that shit's hard. When it works, it works. And I'm still going to be annoyed by them, but I won't hate them for it.
Yeah. Like the first 2 Harry Potters.
Kind of rough. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like, they don't get in there. Like, I don't think Harry Potter really starts until The Prisoner of Azkaban. I mean, for the movies, at least. Who knows with the new TV show coming out? That's going to be... I mean, I think it's going to be a disaster, but, I mean, it might be good. Who knows?
Yeah, I really don't know.
Oh, I got one, too.
Oh, damn. All right, box. Coming through. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm, like, really looking forward to it or not. In fact...
Oh, I'm not.
I can't... Well, I guess it'll be fun to check out and watch it and,
Yeah, I'll
see
definitely...
how it goes.
I'll give the pilot episode a watch.
I'm sure they'll do one of the... Is it going to be just, like... Well, do we know anything about it at this point? Maybe you know more about it than I do. I haven't read anything about it. I haven't cared to follow
I know that they have... I mean, I know that they've cast the main cast already.
Okay. So that's...
So, like, the children are all picked out. I don't know anything... Well, I know they wanted, like... I know there was, like, some controversy, like... What, they wanted to make Snape black, or that's the actor that they were thinking of? I mean, I know some people... We're freaking out about that.
They're gonna make, like, the dude named Severus Snape, like the guy who's a bad guy for, 9/10 of the story, be a black guy. Like, that's funny. Like, of all the people to race swap, make it like the mostly evil guy. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Woke is dead, as South Park said. We're back to making the Germans and the Russians the bad guys, the black guys just like comic relief and or bad guys. Congratulations.
Yep. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have hit that.
That's all right.
Yeah. So, like, who knows with that? Yeah, with the Harry Potters. It could be good, could be bad.
It can be worse than the Rings of Power, so...
Oh, well, no, yes, it can be.
And could
I've
have
watched it. It's
set a
called
new
Willow.
bar? A bar so low that even Hermes couldn't limber beneath it. Yes.
Well, Rings of Power is not as bad as Willow, the TV
Which
show.
I
So
haven't seen, so... And
we need to find...
I wonder how we're going to find it.
I don't... No, we'll find it. I will scour the internet. I'll go on the fucking dark web and, I'll find it. I have to... We have to watch it. Like, it is such an exercise of badness. There's no redeeming part of that show. None. In any respect. Well, no, wait. There's a cool magic scene, like fight scene between a couple of the characters where the magic actually looks dope. You're like, that's a really cool interpretation of magic. I'm kind of alright with this. But it's set against the backdrop of 99.8% of awfulness. So you have to suffer through insufferable characters, really bad actresses and actors, and then actors who are just forced to say the worst type of lines. I mean, it's not like the original Willow, obviously, was, a great...
A tour de force.
Hotbed of monologue. But at least it hit more or less the correct locations that you needed to. But the TV show just... I mean, if we ever do a few part video series of what not to, or how not to create a show, it'll have to be like Willow, because that's pretty awesome. Or actually, we could also totally do that for Ahsoka too, because Ahsoka is also a masterclass of what not to do when creating a TV show. I mean, like, dude, I love Dave Filoni. He's really good. Like, season 1 of Avatar, he's like he directs a few of them, and he's on a lot of, like, he's technical, like, supervisors and things like that. And, I mean, with Rebels and Clone Wars, he's really good with anime. But as soon as he was put in... Oh, no, balls.
Oh, balls. All right, I'm going to come around.
Yeah, but as soon as he was put in charge of some live-action shit, everything just went off the wayside. Yeah, Ahsoka's bad. I mean, like, the first episode has, like, 3 things that happen in it, and it's so boring. I mean, like, and I don't know all the lore, but I know a shitload of the lore, and even that wasn't enough to, like, it was a painful watch. I was just like, oh, okay, I can do this, like, I want to see what happens. You can survive these really boring space battles and these really boring episodes in general, and no plot action, and you know, like Rosario Dawson is a good actress, but she's not made for like action, like having to like do fight scenes as a Jedi, because she just looks really clumsy.
Oh, really? Just not,
Especially against
grace.
her. Yeah, especially against her, like the Morgan Elsbeth, the actress who plays her. I don't remember her name is, but she actually has a background in martial arts. So when their fight scene finally comes, comes at the end of season 1, it's like you know, it's like watching someone who knows martial arts fight someone who doesn't know martial arts but is pretending to. You know, like the motions are not nowhere near as fluid. You can see that like one of them has correct footwork and form work, and because I mean like this is all swordplay too, a lot of it. So yeah, like it's just glaring.
Not everyone's
obvious.
Viggo Mortensen and can just pick that stuff up.
Oh yes, fucking love Viggo. Speaking of things that South Park made fun of, like yeah, fuck, I don't want a prequel to Lord of the Rings.
I
like,
love
honestly,
how they threw that in there.
Yeah, it's great. Like, the Hunt for the Ring is a really cool, or the Hunt for Gollum, is a really cool part at the end. Or actually, is it in the Unfinished Tales, or is it at the end in the appendages? I think it's in the Unfinished Tales. No, yeah, it is in the...
Whoa,
Fuck!
what the hell?
I do not know how I did that. Okay, but in the Unfinished Tales, there's a part where Gandalf is explaining to the Shirelings, Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin, what exactly... no, yeah, I just got swamped again. Like,
yeah,
just, like,
I saw it happening.
Yeah, but he explains like when he first like was afraid of the ring, or like when the first like shadow fell over him and stuff like that. A little bit of the White Council, him going with Aragorn to hunt for Gollum, him abandoning it because he needed to go to the White Council, Aragorn finding Gollum in the near the Mountains of Shadow, taking him to Mirkwood all by himself. It's like 30 days where he basically was holding Gollum prisoner all by himself until he finally was given over to the woodland elves. So there's a lot of cool nerdy shit in there, and I guess it could make a good story if they sort of follow it the way it should have been, but I just don't know why you would make this story a film, because there's no reason for it. It's like the origin part. It's like, you know, it's like making an origin story for the Joker. Why?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know that this was already made, so, or not made, I mean like written, so it's not as egregious, but still, like, you don't need to show the hunt for Gollum, because I don't know, like, beyond a money grab, I don't get the purpose of doing it, because it's not a story. There's not a beginning, middle, or an end that constitutes a story. Like, ooh, Frodo gets the ring. He sets off for the ring. He has to make some choices in Moria. The main leader dies, and then he has to leave the company after Boromir tries to kill him. You know, that's a beginning, middle, and end of a larger story. The Hunt for the Ring has a beginning, but no middle or end, because the ending is the Return of the King,
right,
which was already made.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a sad state of affairs that we don't have a lot of new stuff that comes out. A lot of it we've said it again before, and we'll say it again in the future. Hollywood and the powers that be, Amazon, Netflix, Apple TV, whatever, they have very few original things. Now, Apple TV has a little bit of a hot streak going on about that. I mean, I think, you know, Ted Lasso was very original. I think Shrinking was pretty original. So that's cool.
I mean, For All Mankind was pretty original. I don't think you watched that.
No,
it's about the space race.
Okay.
I mean, like a not historically accurate, because there's a buttload of extra shit happens, but it's a really good story. There, Greyhound, that's a book, but that's still
that was
really
great.
Good.
Yeah, I forgot about
Tom
that.
Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Yeah,
like,
that was
one
really
of my
good.
favorite naval World War II portrayals that I've seen on screen forever. I mean, like, it blows Pacific out of the water on all sides.
Pacific just kind of bums me out, because I think it'd be better if they made it today.
Yeah, you could. You have a. That's one thing right here. Like, CGI, this is like these type of things you could make so much better today.
Band of Brothers
Pacific
didn't need it nearly as much as the Pacific did.
Yeah. Band of Brothers was perfect for the time it did. Pacific needed to be when Masters of the Air came out.
Yeah, Masters of the Air could not have been made back then, really. I mean, unless you did it all practically with planes, if you just totally Ridley Scotted the shit out of it or something. But That just seems like too much of an ask, honestly.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever going to
probably.
top Band of Brothers in terms of that type of TV, I think. And I know I'm probably being unfair. There's no original content. There's no new stuff. That's just really not true.
No, because we're writing off Tarantino too much.
That's true. There are people like him, and, you know, like a story like Mulholland Drive is nothing if not original.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's such an original story, it doesn't have one. You got a CZ75, by the way. Yeah, don't pick it up. Yeah, I mean, like Mulholland Drive is a great example. I mean, speaking of things like story, like movies need to have a story. That is my biggest criticism of Mulholland Drive. It has no story because it's just everything that's happening is happening to a dead girl, basically. Great, that's fantastic. And you find it at the end. You kind of want to.
It's a screw to the audience you don't approve of.
Yeah, no, it is a screw to the audience that I don't approve of, and I need a story for a visual medium. There needs to be a story for me to follow, not just a random nonsensical series of events that happen until the ending falls into your lap.
Man, you should not watch Natural Born Killers then. That movie just confused the ever-loving hell out of me. I didn't understand what happened at all, and I gave up.
Well, maybe I would.
It's been a long time since I've watched it, though, so maybe we can give it a
maybe
watch.
We should watch it and give it a try.
Yeah.
Because yeah, but going back to Mulholland Drive though, like beyond like the lack of story, holy shit, the rest of the movie, or everything else about the movie minus the lack of story, is fantastically done. But it's more of a film study than a film, which is why the reasons why, like, especially because I mean you know, I watched and for the audience, I mean, my dad tried to get me to watch Mulholland Drive like 10 years ago with him, and I got through an hour and a half. And I hated him for a decade afterwards. I threw it in his face as many times as I could. Like, oh yeah, that was fun, but at least it wasn't Mulholland Drive. That's an hour and a half I will never get back. And then a decade later,
facts.
And then a decade later, me, my bro, and my dad finally watch, because my brother hadn't seen it. So I give it a second try. And then my brother sees it for the first time, and now having seen it all, I mean, I'm still annoyed by I'm annoyed by the ending, but I'm glad that I finally saw it all because I understand what the movie really was. Because I mean, when I first watched it, I was going in for a movie, not a freaking art project. But
yeah, you got to go into a different mindset. It's not like you're not going to watch that movie with the same mindset you're going to watch Top Gun.
Oh no, yeah, Top Gun. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like basically like, all right, cool. We have a comic. We have Superman, or we have War and Peace. That's how different they are.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know where I was going with this tangent.
Yeah, we kind of just.
This is the game stream of consciousness really at its work. You know, I had a great rant, and I have no idea where.
And we lost the stream of consciousness. It happens. Like a thread.
Yeah, because we were talking about child actors and then something, I don't fucking know. But no, yeah. So, shit. Yeah, I have no idea where we're at anymore.
That's okay, because I was waiting for a point, and in the when we review this, I'm sure there will be a point that will be made. It'll be fantastic, and it'll all make sense. But you know, we did stray far afield from the three S's we did want to talk about. You know, I mean,
yes,
we got through some good South Park, we got through some Superman, and then we got through all kinds of weird other stuff. But you know,
we didn't really talk about Scooby-Doo.
And what is there to be said that hasn't already been said? I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we did a whole episode about Scooby-Doo last week.
Yep.
And thank you all for watching it.
Yes, I hope you all enjoyed it. Scooby-Doo, if you haven't seen it, is of course my vote for best cartoon of all time. Best cartoon show, series.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I really include like anime with that at all. I think it's I think I'm almost classifying those in different categories.
Yeah, I don't think you can put anime and Scooby-Doo together, or those, like, because it's like anime is like a different, I mean, beyond the fact that it's a completely different drawing style, it's a different type of storytelling device, plot, and all those those things.
Yeah, I mean, how many anime shows are there that are truly like one-off shows? Every episode is completely independent of any other episode. There's not a continuous through story.
Few.
And I'm not
very
talking
few.
about...
Actually, no, I'm gonna say I can't think of a single one at this moment that doesn't have an overarching narrative. I mean, all anime does.
Right. So
Yeah.
they're just totally different types, and the story the anime wants to tell, and the story that Scooby-Doo has told is
more
very,
grown
very
up.
different. I mean, I can't imagine that you can't really call Scooby-Doo stories complicated. They're really simple. They are made for children, you know, in ways that anime might not be for children. Some anime might not be for children.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo is squarely in the realm of like kid stuff, you know, and it's the stakes are fairly low in most of Scooby-Doo. Because even though the implication is sort of there that there's death and murder and destruction all around, it doesn't feel like you're never in any shadow of a doubt that Scooby, Shaggy, Velma, Daphne, and Fred will come out the other side alive.
Yeah.
Even when they're strapped to a log about to go through a circular saw, cut in half head first, you don't ever think she's not going to make it. Well, now that being said, a child watching it might be a little more invested in it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, because like the original Scooby-Doo, when I was younger and I was watching it, there were a few episodes that terrified me. Like, what the heck is going on with Elias Kingston and the Weatherby estate when Elias is calling Uncle Stewart the come, and then turns him into bones.
I'll
that whole
episode,
you. Yeah, that whole episode terrified me as a child, and I still kind of like get that, like, the echo of a shiver up my spine when I watch it. You know, it's like I'm not afraid of it, but part of my mind still remembers that fear that I used to feel watching it, and it's ever slightly tickles the back of my the back of my soul.
That is a great episode because it's sort of I can't even put my finger on it. It's just the thought of someone coming and aging you and making you, grow old and die prematurely, right, at their whim, and it's just like Green Ghost. It's pretty terrifying.
Yeah, and you get to, and most of the ghosts don't actually physically like affect people.
A lot of them
they
kind of
might,
dance
like,
around and do
disappear.
dumb things. Actually, they're kind of like almost comical in their their haunts.
Yeah. But that one, he actually, I mean, like, he's doing it to himself, but you don't know that at the beginning, so you just see Uncle Stewart become old and then die, which is, like, in Scooby-Doo.
No one dies.
Like, no one dies, and you actually, and you're just like, holy crap, that happened, like, what's going on? Uncle Stewart's gone. Like, Uncle Stewart is actually gone.
And those are bones. He dead. Now you gotta think about all the planning it took to do all that, too. I mean, dude, Uncle Stewart, he was a messed up dude. So the bad guys are all real, like bad people, another good episode that we did actually talk about in that last episode, in that discussion before, was the Moody Manor episode with Don Knotts in the new Scooby-Doo movies from the 70s.
Yeah.
In that episode, the implication the entire time is that the nephews and nieces, in an effort to get the inheritance from Captain Moody, have arrived to a dinner party early and murdered him.
Yes.
That's the whole, setup for the episode. This is the motivation behind the detective being there and trying to solve it and find the nieces and nephews. And he does say, oh, well, if I can find out where the nieces and nephews are, maybe I can save Captain Moody. But not really. The whole time, there's supposed to be a ghost of Captain Moody. He dead. The nieces and nephews arrived early and killed him so they could get his money. That's pretty dark.
Extremely dark.
And that's not even later Scooby-Doo when things actually get real.
No, that stuff's still pretty. That's still in the 80s.
And this is before Scooby-Doo had supernatural stuff in it, Because once that happened, I guess kind of all bets were off about what could happen, which is, I guess, a good thing, but also kind of a bummer because it took Scooby-Doo away from something that I thought it was great at, and that was it, facing your fears, unmasking the evil in the world, using logic and planning to outsmart a deadly foe. All that kind of stuff is kind of neat about OG Scooby-Doo, that as soon as you made creatures supernatural, you took the element of, the basic good guys versus bad guys here. You know, these people all want monetary gain. These kids are smarter than they are, and they're gonna have to prove it with their dog. That's cool as hell, and they got away from that a little bit. And nah, it just feels like a different show a little bit. They stuck to some of that stuff. A lot of the facing your fears as a team, you know, splitting up and working as a team together sometimes yields different results. Always playing it the same way is kind of funny, and they can make fun of that in certain ways. So in that respect, they stayed pretty true to that. Some of the movies even stuck to that for the majority of the movie. I'm talking about Alien Invaders chiefly. The entire opening setup to Zombie Island is all about fake monsters and fake ghouls and stuff like that. So that's a big part of the whole setup for the main attraction of the island. And even while they're on the island, you don't have any clarity that there's real zombies until a good, I don't know, what, halfway through the movie or something?
Third.
Yeah, okay. So still, a decent chunk of the movie is
and it takes at least half of the movie for Velma, Fred, and Daphne to see.
That's right. Of course,
like,
it happens
Scooby and Shaggy are the first ones to see. Yeah. And they're all just like skeptical, and then you got the gardener like, "What zombies?"
Mm-hmm. The sketchy gardener, yeah, and all the classic misdirection that always comes up in Scooby-Doo as well. Like, oh, you think it's Helga, but actually it's the Mad Doctor, predictably, and it can't be the sweet old gypsy because she was not present at that time. Oh, but Homeboy was dressed as the gypsy. Yeah, so you get to have a little bit of the problem solving. You get a ton of the whodunitness. So that's what you sacrifice when you make the monsters real.
Yeah, definitely. Though I do love the, what is it?
A gaggle of galloping ghosts.
Yeah. Because he just plays all of them. Frankenstein, Dracula, the Mummy,
That's right.
The Gypsy. It's pretty great. Though it is weird, like, why does the dude... Like, what's the motivation for putting his treasure in the tapestry? That's just never explained.
Tax purposes, clearly. Yeah, sometimes it's just the presence of a valuable object, right? They don't really put too much thought into why. Like, it's just money. Kids will get it. Jewels, sparkly things. and that also leads into the part of the... All right, so... charm or just low budgetness of Scooby-Doo 2. The animation for the first several iterations of Scooby-Doo are just, I mean, they're budget. You know, they don't bother coloring the eyes. The lettering of the Mystery Machine, the letters aren't individually colored in. It's just sort of a stripe of color that fits over the whole lettering. It's low budget, man.
It is,
and that's why
that's why it's so funny.
Everything being told to you as well. In case the animation didn't pick this up, the script will tell you what's happening. You could be blind.
Seriously, if you guys ever
Scooby-Doo.
If you ever want to have a fun time, just put the original Scooby-Doo in the background and don't watch it, and you'll still know everything that happens because one of the characters will be mansplaining exactly what's going on, or womansplaining exactly what's going on at any given moment. It is fantastic.
And every single sign will be read out loud to you. And every sign that matters. Because, of course, they do recognize correctly that a lot of the children who are going to be watching it aren't literate yet, and many of the adults might not be either. So they spell it out for them and then tell them what it means. Danger spells danger. Congratulations, children. That's all you need to know to go boating in South Carolina.
Leave Haunted Isle. Oh, red. I'm seeing red.
But again, it does kind of like, there's a little bit of a low budget charm to it, you know, like.
I need that max ammo.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. The low budget charm is definitely at work in South Park. In South Park 2 at the very beginning. No, but in Scooby-Doo.
And you gotta give props to the voice acting too, because are there any more iconic voices than for, let's say, Shaggy, Scooby, you know, the whole gang? I mean, they're all recognizable, right? I mean, Fred has been the same voice actor pretty much the entire time. Scooby-Doo has had the same voice actor. Frank Welker has done most of Scooby-Doo as well, or he took over for the original Scooby-Doo actor. I can't remember exactly how that worked out, but he's been the same voice actor for Fred and for Scooby for a long time. You had Casey Kasem do Scooby-Doo, or Shaggy, for decades. Then you had Matthew Lillard take over for pretty much decade and a half, 2 decades or so. And I'm not sure where it stands now. Billy West did one. Charles Innes, or John Innes, I think, did 1 or 2 as well. And that's beyond some of the other, like, who knows what was going on with Velma. That doesn't count as Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
And a pup named Scooby-Doo was obviously different actors too, but I didn't really watch too much of that because that was another live-action television show.
Yeah,
that
was
I
bad,
never caught. I think that was.
I remember.
That was in when I was way too cool for Scooby-Doo phase in my life. You know, like I'm like a teen now, boys and girls. I don't watch cartoons and stuff. That only comes. Life comes full circle. You started watching cartoons. By the time you're 35, you're sitting here on YouTube playing a video game and talking about cartoons. Woo! Boyhood dream come true, baby.
If you were dreaming about this as a boy, well, you had some forethought, man.
Yeah,
playing Nazi zombies with my brother.
See, I had forethought, but I thought it was just a dream. Didn't realize it would actually happen. Otherwise, my dream about Tesla would have, informed me to buy at a certain time and then also dip. Probably about, let's say, July of last year, maybe. Let's really get the fudge out right then.
Hey, I gave you plenty of...
Not me. You gave father stuff, and he didn't act on it because... he's a safe investor, and you were a child.
Yeah, well, that child turned out to be right.
Yeah. All credit where it's due. You're right, but being right and being successful are not
being
the same
right and
thing.
being. Yeah, exactly.
Look at Donald Trump. He's not right in the head, but he's president of the United States. You look at him. That boy ain't right.
All right. Yeah.
Come on, Tayton. Come on, guy. Relax, guys. Yeah,
I want to relax.
It's gonna be really hard not to think of that now every time I see Donald Trump. Which a mission accomplished. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, I approve, and I love how they made the credits. Executive producer Matt Stone, written and directed by Matt Stone, assisted to Matt Stone, Trey Parker.
Yeah. It very much fits into the conspiracy.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the episode, season 27, episode 1, if you don't know about it, you are traveling in different circles than we do online. And if you haven't seen it, I'd recommend go seeing it. I think it's widely available where you find good content at affordable prices or not. I don't know. Whatever. You do you. Figure it out. You're adults, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Good content at affordable prices. I mean, the amount of money you'd have to pay for Paramount just to frickin' watch South Park is kind of ludicrous.
I mean, I don't worry about those things because I'm a millionaire and my Lamborghinis are collateral enough for me to get Netflix for free.
Yes. Well, not all of us are so lucky. Some of us are plebeians who work in the dirt.
Yes, dirt farmers and muck spreaders. It's a hard job, but some immigrant has to do it. May as well be you.
Yeah. I mean, the oyster farm really breaks our backs every day, but got to do it.
Yeah. Pearl diving in the reservoir is a dirty job, but even Mike Rao wouldn't touch it.
Mm-hmm. There actually is a really good Netflix. No, it's not Netflix original. No, but it's on Netflix. It's called shit. What is it? It actually might just be like wait.
This show called shit. What is it? Sounds like a show from Rick and Morty or something. The alternate timeline,
Wait. Let me just really quickly make sure I have this right, because I don't want to.
Teddy bear.
Come on. Oh, balls. I'm gonna die looking for it, aren't I?
Probably.
All right, fuck it. No. Okay. Well, no. It's like, it's like the Pearl Diver and something like some shit like that. But it basically takes place. It's one of those Chinese productions that I watch. But it takes place a couple hundred well, at least a couple hundred years ago, probably something like 500, something like that. Well, the fact that there's no British, so it's beyond 500, but whatever. It follows like a girl who's a slave on a pearl diving farm, and then she escapes. Finds out that she has kind of connections to the people who were running the pearl diving farm, and then gets picked up by a merchant, and she works her way up through his ranks and to help him get revenge and shit like that. It's a good fucking story, actually.
All right, it sounds good.
Yeah, like I definitely enjoyed it, and it had the balls to, because it's one of these things that like annoys me about Asian shows a lot of the times, because of like, and not because of like rebirth and crap like that, and like Buddhism and all that, and being able to like pay off your karma and reincarnation. I'm all fine with that and type of stuff, but a lot of times the good guys will be like torn apart by death, but then like will come back as like a reward for what they did, and then like the love story will be completed. In the story of the Pearl Diver, one of the main characters ends up dead at the end, and like it's one of those things like it's going to happen, but because of a certain thing that happened in his life or her life. I already gave it away, but whatever.
Yeah.
Because I gave him, whatever, fuck it. Because he gets poisoned early on in his life by the Black Bandit clan. So he's like constantly on the like he's constantly taking the antidote, and then at a certain point very later on in the show, he gets offered a choice basically between release a person who is responsible for my family's death and get the antidote to save my life, or let this person stand trial and get executed for their crimes, and I will sacrifice my life to clear my family's name.
And of course they went for the family.
Yeah, and he takes the family's name and shit like that. But there's like 6 episodes before the end of that show. So you kind of like spend like the next 6 or 5 episodes wondering like, oh shit, is he going to be able to figure it out? Does she know that he's dying? Like, how's this all going to go down? And then, and then at the end, yeah, like he makes sure that justice is served, his family name is cleared, and at the end he dies. And I was so happy for that too, because I've seen so many shows where the main characters die and then come back, especially in like the high fantasy part of Asian culture. But actually seeing the person die committed to his actions, it was so refreshing. I was like, thank you, you've completed the story. Because if they would have brought him back, I would have been so it wouldn't have diminished the show at all, but it would have completely ruined the ending. But since they didn't do it,
well, I think ruining the ending diminishes the show.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's actually true.
It's really hard to
but it wouldn't diminish her story, though, because everything that happens to her wouldn't have been affected by that. It just would have affected the story afterwards.
Right, yeah.
So...
Ooh, I need some ammo, man. All I have is my ray gun, 84 rounds. 82 rounds.
Yeah, I'm decent on ammo right now, but I've just been using the STG because that's the only, like, the ray gun is the only good gun I've gotten from the box, so I've just been STGing and ray gunning.
Yeah, I've been busting out the RPK and
yeah. That's why you have almost 100 more kills than me.
Oh yeah,
because you actually have guns that work.
RPK beats. Oh here you go. Yes.
Max ammo. I thank you so much. And now my falsetto is over.
Testicles descend.
Max ammo.
Well, I think we reached the end of what I would call a good length for a game stream. So anything after this is just gravy.
Yeah.
We're hitting an hour and a half that no one's gonna watch.
And if you make it this far, comment it and say, I watched!
I got a new kidney! Yes. If you made it this far,
yes.
Comment,
type
I
that
got
into
a new
the
kidney
comments.
down there.
I got a new kidney. Well done, everyone who made it this far. If you wish to finish this episode, slide over to Patreon to catch our exclusive ending where we dive deep into magic systems and Brandon Sanderson's novels. If you enjoyed this episode, leave us a comment, steel push the like button, and force throw the subscribe button down below. Until next time, stay safe, stay sound, and we will see you guys next time.